Good afternoon and welcome to PrizePicks on 5 from the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Today we want to bring you a preview of the Florida Panthers home opener. Big game tonight in Sunrise versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. We're going to take a look at the PrizePicks numbers here early in the afternoon. Might be some movement on these projections. I feel like there's some good totals out here on the board. So who better to discuss these with than Alex Baumgartner, of course, our lead Panthers guy here at the network. Want to just bring you some of this preview. It's early in the season, but the Panthers, after a rough opening couple of games, kind of got right a little bit versus New Jersey and come into this home opener 1-2. So hopefully they can even things up on their schedule for the year and get a nice win for the home fans to open the season after obviously a tough end to the postseason last year. So big game. Obviously, these games against these original six are very high profile for the Panthers. A lot of people in attendance rooting for the Leafs, of course. It's always a great crowd. So, Alex is going to have a lot of insight there from the game. So, thanks for joining me, Alex. And let's get started. So, talk about the Panthers and who they're going to look to in terms of the offensive attack versus Toronto.
Yeah, so right now, traditionally last couple of years, yourself and me, we really like that Sam Bennett shots on goal prop. He's still out, hasn't played all season. We'll be back in about probably around the time they hit the road. Maybe he gets in a game before they hit the road. But new Panther, Evan Rodriguez, playing first line with Barkov. Right now, Reinhardt's on that line with him. Also first line power play, playing on that half wall. I really like that over shots on goal at 2.5. He's hit the over every single time so far. I think this prop is pretty low. And just based off of the usage they have of him, he's playing top power play minutes and he's playing on line one. And especially today against Toronto, you're going to expect to see that Barkov line a lot because Austin Matthews is one of the hottest players in the NHL right now. So they're really going to have to match him up with Barkov. I also took Matthews on the faceoffs because he's been good on the faceoff so far. But I like Erod shots 2.5. Luckily, it's not a 3, so we're not getting a push situation there. But
yeah, that can bump too. So keep an eye on that. Get it in early.
And I mean, that Matthews prop's kind of ridiculous. He had 14, 14, and 6. I'm pretty confident he hits the over.
Look at those numbers. I mean, 7 seems very, very friendly. I'm going to have to get another entry with that in there probably. So, yeah, and Toronto struggled in net, obviously, to open the season. Samsonov really hasn't looked good. 4.42 goals against, only 839 save percentage. So he's looking a little bit rough out there to start the season. I think the Panthers are going to want to attack him early and often, especially in front of the home crowd to start the season. I think they're going to come out with a lot of energy in this game. And, Daniel Barry, appreciate you tuning in today, this afternoon. So, I feel like Rodriguez has really just kind of jumped right into the mix here.
Yep.
The Panthers have a lot of new guys on the blue line, but, those top guys, it's a lot of familiar faces, with Reinhardt when Bennett comes back, obviously, of course, Barkov, Kachuk, a lot of those guys. But, Rodriguez has definitely been a very welcome addition. And, I'm going to go back to one of the steady guys for the Panthers. And you mentioned Sam Bennett. So I want to talk about the other Sam. And of course, that's Reinhardt. So I think he's at 2.5 right now.
Yep.
And he's been pretty strong to start the season, 5 and 4 in the last couple games. He had 2 goals and 5 shots on goal in the win versus New Jersey. So, he's definitely trending in the right direction. So I love Reinhardt over 2.5 in this spot. So let's jump to the Toronto side. So who do you like from the Leafs side of things? Because I know you mentioned Matthews on the faceoffs. Any other projections? And what do you think of Samsonov over 27.5 saves?
Like, honestly, I hate goalie props, so I rarely touch them. I was looking at the combo prop of Bob, and I think it was Bob and Samsonov, and I was looking
56
at
and
the
a half, maybe.
Yeah, I was I just stay away from goaltenders. I don't like these props because there's a chance one of them gets pulled and that kills the entire prop. There's normally the averages, it's right around the number they're averaging. That's
Right.
normally the board. I refuse to take goaltender props. I've missed out too many of them. I will say the goal props aren't too bad. You can kind of project who's who might perform. I didn't take a leaf on the goal prop. I did take David Pastrnak. They're playing San Jose. He's scored the last 2 games, I believe. So 0.5. I do like Pastrnak on that over. Matthews, he had back-to-back hat tricks to start the year. It wouldn't surprise me if he scores, but since we're taking Matthews on the face-offs, I'd rather look at the face-off one because I think that's more of a given because I think he's going to hit the over on the 7.
He smashed it, but the thing about Toronto is they get contributions from a lot of different guys.
Yeah.
So, but one guy who, if you watch the Panthers closely, this guy's a menace. I mean, look at his picture. This guy's trouble right here. And that's Tyler Bertuzzi.
And Tyler Bertuzzi torched the Panthers in the playoffs last year with Boston. He was by far, I think he was the best player on the Bruins in that series.
Yeah.
Like they really couldn't stop in front of the net. And he plays a kind of role where we see it with Tkachuk where he's kind of down low. He's just going to whack away at the puck till it goes in. So I do like 2.0 on Bertuzzi. Didn't get any shots on goal last game, but as we could see, he hit the over on that 2.0 against Montreal and against Minnesota. So
I think it's a push minimum.
He's going to push it at least.
I mean, the Panthers get a lot of shots, so I think Toronto's going to have to try to keep pace with them in terms of just volume. Following this team year to year, one thing about the offense is it seems like they're volume generated. If they're just firing pucks on the net, it seems to start to snowball. That's when you see them put up those 4, 5, 6 goal games.
Yeah.
When they try to get too cute year after year, when they're, they overpass a little bit, they don't take the shots in the power play. I think Tkachuk kind of has recentered this offensive mindset in terms of getting to the net, creating traffic, the ugly stuff, down there in the corners on the boards, being that sort of team that generate chances, multiple chances per shift. I feel like, instead of being just one and done, you get one shot and then they're clearing the zone. I feel like this is a team built to put steady pressure, throughout a shift that can get 3 or 4 shots on any given shift. So, they're going to have to keep up, on the Toronto side, but I'm liking a lot of these numbers tonight. I think it's early in the season and the lines are kind of going to feel themselves out. And, 10 games down the road, we might see these numbers up substantially from where they are now. So, any other parting NHL plays that you want to look at?
I mean, just quickly on your Florida thing, Florida really hasn't struggled to get shots up on goal. First game, put up over 40 shots in in Minnesota. In Winnipeg, Rodriguez had 5 shots on goal. Barkov had 5 shots on goal. Reinhart had 4. And, sometimes we see Barkov struggling to hit shots on goal. He clearly hit that over. So I do like shots on goal no matter what. And, the early on in the season with these PrizePick props, the backlog of games isn't necessarily there. We're looking into last season as well. So as we get 1 to 2 weeks into the season, we'll have more consistent looks at which guys have been averaging those pushes and the shots on goal, the goals, stuff like that. So give it another week or two, and then you're really going to be more consistent in your winnings, I think.
The numbers are going to catch up. I feel like, these numbers are going to start to creep up. But, given the Panthers historically, they're a high shot team. They like to shoot the puck. So what about Bobrovsky?
I mean, yeah, he played really good in New Jersey last game, but I just don't like numbers like that. It's just too close for my liking.
Too close, yeah.
And Florida, they're not really a team that's going to give up 40 shots. It rarely happens. Even with the defense right now and a lot of new defensemen in the system, they rarely give up that many shots. They have a lot of good two-way forwards as well. I don't like taking goaltenders.
I'd maybe go under on that one, but give us a quick insight onto what we're going to have for Panthers content, obviously, to start the season and moving forward before we close.
Yeah, we do the Fifth Line 5R show every Wednesday here on the channel with Colby Guy and myself. We do pretty much daily to bi-weekly articles, bi-weekly features, couple articles every week. And, all the tweets are on the Fifth Line Twitter as well for game updates.
Yeah, and Alex is credentialed with the team. So, he's interviewing the players and he's going to have a lot of really good team-centric content for the Panthers. So, make sure to follow him on Twitter and on the social media networks that we have across our Panthers group. So want to thank Alex for joining, and make sure to use that promo code FIVE.